This is a fresh install of Linux Mint 20.2. I've just installed it a few moments ago. This is its first restart. I haven't done anything, so the update manager's running down here, so there'll be quite a few updates there, so let's go through that. The updates are finished. A reboot is required. I would actually recommend, particularly if your system's been up for a few days and you've been suspending it, I'd actually recommend doing a restart before you begin the actual upgrade process, but that's entirely up to you. So let's do a restart here. And we can see we're still on Linux Mint 20.2. Welcome screen. And start Firefox. linuxmint.com. I'm going to go to links and we'll go to the blog. If we look down here on the left, it says how to upgrade to Linux Mint 20.3. And we'll just have a bit of a look here. So you can do it from version 20, 20.1, 20.2 to 20.3 by the look of it. Okay, so let's create a system snapshot. We'll start Timeshift. Now this is the first time Timeshift's been run on this machine, so it's gone straight into the wizard. So we're just going to work through this. We'll go next. I'm doing this on a virtual machine. So it's found the virtual hard drive, which is about 50 gigabytes, and there's about 40 gigabytes free. So let's go next. I'm going to leave all the defaults here. Personally, myself, I like to keep one daily on my machines, one weekly, and one monthly, like that. The reason I do that is if an update comes at any point in the future and something goes wrong, I can go back to earlier that day and restore it. If it's a few days later and I go to use something and it doesn't work, I've got a weekly, so I can go back to a week, and again for a monthly. If I think I haven't started that application or whatever for a few weeks, I can go back a month or so to restore. So that's how I normally keep my system. So we'll go next. Now, by default, it doesn't back up your home folder. So some apps store some of your configuration files and so forth in hidden folders under your username, so they won't be backed up. Sometimes if something breaks and the configuration files are in there, they haven't been backed up, so restoring won't work. So it's not perfect, and that's just the way it is. You can select it there if you want to do that, but I'm just going to leave it here. Again, this is a virtual machine. I don't care if I break it, and just some information there. So we'll hit finish, and what we'll do now is we're actually going to create, because there's no snapshots in here, we'll create one. Now if your machine's already done a snapshot for the day, you're probably going to be fine. If, like me here, you've installed a whole heap of updates after the snapshot, supposing you turned your machine on at 9 o'clock in the morning and you updated it at midday, and now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now you've decided you're going to run the update from an earlier version of Linux Mint, be that 20 or 20.1 or 20.2. You're probably best off to do this so that you can go back to a state just prior to the update, but without having to reinstall all the previous minor updates that occurred earlier that day or that week or whatever. Depending on the size and speed of your system, as we can see here, it's going to take about 13-15 minutes or whatever. Just about done with the snapshot. Once it got about halfway through, it went from 10 or 13 minutes down to about 3 minutes. So it didn't take near as long as what it was suggesting earlier on. So here it is. It's got a timestamp, date and timestamp. We can see it's 20.2. and O is on demand. If it's a daily that are scheduled, it'll have D on it, a weekly will have W, and monthly will have M. So let's click in here and we'll call this B4 20.3 upgrade. Just I've got a little bit more information about it. That's our fallback point there, just in case. So we're done. Exit out of there. We'll have a look at the website again. So we've created a snapshot. Let's disable the screensaver. Power management. We'll just put that to never. And I think most of that's pretty good in there. Screensaver. Let's just disable that. You can actually get to the power management from there as well. So screensaver is disabled. And let's get on with upgrading the system. And most of the rest of that will be fairly straightforward for most of us. So I'm going to get out of there at the moment. And we'll click on the shield in the bottom right hand corner. So a new version of the update manager is available. And we've only got the 3 options in here. So let's apply this update. And now we go to edit, upgrade to Linux Mint 20.3. We'll work our way through, so we go next. And there's some release notes. And there's the new features. Again, you can see them on the Linux Mint website. Let's put a little check mark in there and we'll hit apply. And we're off. No, that's been going for about 30 minutes and it really got stuck a few minutes ago back there for a long time. But it's starting to move along quicker now. I did this in about 6 or 7 minutes on the hardware that this virtual machine's running on now. I guess it illustrates that you want to do this when you've got some time to do it, you're not under pressure to use the computer, that sort of thing. And there we go, it's just finished. Your operating system was successfully upgraded. Please reboot for the changes to take effect. So let's close. Close. So that's still in there, that should be gone when we come back. We'll close that, restart the system. And there we have, we've logged back in and now we can see here Linux Mint 20.3. Same on the system monitor here, it's 20.3. So it was about 10 past 3 and now it's 3:45. So that's about 35 minutes there altogether. I've still got a couple of old machines to update that I'll get around to in time, but there's the basic process there for updating to Linux Mint 20.3.